Mexica cultural identity versus cultural appropriation. The Mexica were one of the last and greatest civilizations of Anahuac. Their power and cultural influence was extended and understood throughout what is falsely known as North America, and especially in what today is known as Mexico. Ancient Mexico has been the lifeline and the heart of our existence, from which we the people here descend from. We have always been connected as a people, not just genetically, but through a collective Nican tlaca indigenous culture. Along with our common experiences, we have also experienced a common enemy, known as colonialism. Cultural identity undoubtedly is the inescapable historical foundation for understanding our pre-1521 Meso American history and Anahuaca people, based on the Olmec and Teotihuacan cultural influence and Mexica hegemony. In the book Mexico's Indigenous Past by Alfredo Lopez Austin and Leonardo Lopez Ducan, in regards to the post-classic Mexica, it reads, and I quote, "The Mexicas ruled an immense territory and were at the height of their power when the Europeans arrived. Furthermore, among all the Meso Americans, the Mexica are the people about whom we have the greatest number of documents written in the Latin alphabet." End quote. While we would like to criticize this oversimplified view and to allude to the dangers of overgeneralizing, we know that a study of the wealth of information about the Mexica is indispensable for an understanding of their contemporaries. If we wish to describe the daily and institutional life of the Meso American people in detail, the most pertinent example is to be found in the Mexica culture. End quote. The Mexica were a product of ancient Meso America and the continuation of a collective culture first seen by the Olmec mother culture of Anahuac. Their cosmovision.
Let us now turn our attention to cultural appropriation for a minute. During the 80s, cultural appropriation was a term used to confront colonialism and the disparities between majority and minority groups. Appropriation, as a term that was first used in academic spaces, has become popular and often misunderstood. It seems now within the current politics of indigenous identities, the term cultural appropriation has been misused and misapplied to reconnecting Chicanos and Mexicanos, who in the majority make up the largest detribalized and displaced group of people in all of Anahuac, in what today is falsely known as North America. As Chicanos, Chicanas, Mexicanos, Mexicans, Mexica in the Nahuatl language, we have been subordinates and condemned slaves to colonialism for the last 500 plus years, and were victims to the largest Holocaust in the history of the world. Born from our Anahuac civilizations and human dignity, we have become part of a deteriorating society.
Artifacts, architectural style, ceremonies, codes of conduct, education, and warriorship reflect the cultural similarities throughout the diversity of Meso America, in which we refer to as the heart of Anahuac. It is a great misfortune for many of our people to lack this knowledge and understanding of ourselves because Mexica identity is one of the world's greatest cultural patrimony, belonging to all of our people of Meso America. What our ancestors had established before colonization made its way to our shores was a way of life. The sacred path of the Black and Red Sea was the way of the righteous, the way for warriors to possess of faith and heart was brought about through education to give wisdom to reach faith, escaping the dynamic aspect of the personality, your love or heart. This cultural accomplishment was not attributed to the Mexican civilization alone, but also to the existing environment of Anahuac Civilizations. The Mexican cultural identity is not based on blood quantum, but on its cultural system of discipline and exploitation, nor can it be culturally appropriated by Anahuaca descendants under colonization. The Mexican cultural identity is the mainspring in defeating colonialism and its institutions, a lifeline to the total liberation of Anahuac.
We have become part of a deteriorating society, infected, assimilated, and miseducated by the ongoing colonial institutions and systems of oppression. After centuries of European occupation through all of Anahuac, the so-called Americas and the Western Hemisphere, Nican tlaca indigenous from north to south are becoming aware of what colonialism is and using their own cultural identity to heal from the traumas and seek to achieve liberation from the falsehood of Christianity and the capitalist occupation of our ancestral homeland. Mexica has been the cultural identity and representative to a large demographic of people who have identified as Mexican or Chicano. This has become a phenomenon, a movement, if you will, based on the diverse Anahuac cultures and civilizations independently achieved by our indigenous ancestors. The Mexica component of our Anahuac heritage has been a source of nourishment and cultural pride, a transformative process where our people search for their indigenous roots and healing from transgenerational trauma perpetuated by colonization. Our Mexica identity has also paved the way for many of our people reconnecting to their cultural heritage and Anahuac culture in general. The Mexica power and influence has definitely reached a milestone and has managed effectiveness throughout colonial occupation while serving as means to developing pride and dignity, a way of life that seeks a decolonized mindset and community. To say that of our people with the Mexican experience as nationalists, Mexican Americans or Chicanos commit cultural appropriation is not only absurd when choosing to identify as Mexica is incorrect, and it is at odds with Anahuac liberation. Mexica and cultural reconstruction is a beacon to decolonization. Any group of people in their majority live in white privilege lives economically, politically, and it is beneficiary of colonization who adopts cultural elements for people subjected to colonization is in fact committing cultural appropriation. People of another race or foreigners who profit financially and socially from the culture of a group of people under colonization are in fact committing cultural appropriation. No Mexican or Chicano can culturally appropriate Mexica cultural identity. We are the legacy of Anahuac.